Hey, yo, what's good, man? It's your host, Cleve. Welcome to the Third Coast Podcast with my man,
Joe. What it do, Gators?
What it do, man? It's your host, Cleve. Third Coast Podcast.
Joe, what it do, Gators? Joe, what it do, Gators?
Oh, welcome back to Third Coast Podcast. We're sitting down at Fête Du Void 2023, and we're here with Miss Tristan Dufrene. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing really good. Blessed to be here.
How was your travels into Oakdale?
It was really nice, smooth. It was great to get out of New Orleans for a minute. I had a Void virgin come along for the ride that never experienced Oakdale, Louisiana, or just gotten out of New Orleans much. So it was a nice little drive.
Is this your first time at Void?
No, this is my probably fifth year, I'd say, in a row.
I asked this question earlier. Have you ever been to Oakdale before Fête Du Void?
No. I've been to like Lafayette, like other little areas. Bunkie, they used to do 4-H camp when I was a kid. So I was familiar with like Bunkie. Like, I grew up in real South Louisiana, in the swamps, the bayous. So I'm in another part of like Cajun country. So it's a little bit of a trek. Growing up, I didn't get out much west.
Oh, all right. So, how long you been DJing in New Orleans for?
I've been professionally DJing in New Orleans now for probably over 12 years. I started like cataloging and like loosely DJing parties back in my hometown of Cutoff, Louisiana. And that was like, I was probably 18, 19 years old.
All right.
Okay.
So I've been in it for a minute. Almost like right when the internet became a thing. And it was like after records, of course. But recording music, what you would illegally download off of Napster on dial-up internet.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
So I have I still have all my CD binders, like catalogs of all the music that I pirated.
Like, do you remember your first record? Like the first time, like you just, like, what inspired you to, like, has music always been an influence?
Oh, definitely.
Like,
My first concert, my mom took me and my little brother to see Casey and the Sunshine Band. So dance music was always an attraction for me, and rock and roll. And then junior high came around, and this was when the State Palace days was really big in New Orleans. And Disco Donnie was like throwing parties, and I had some of my best friends sneak out the house to go to these parties, and I was too scared of my mom because she was very overprotective. I was not doing it, but I was living vicariously through them, and I absorbed all of that music that they were listening to, because my friend would come home and like we would just listen to all these like CDs of like Chemical Brothers and The Prodigy, like so many incredible electronic artists. So it was just from there that I like really indulged. And also like I learned like doing like parties in general. It was like hip hop and it was all of it. But when I decided professionally that I was going to do this in New Orleans, it was strictly for a techno focus, because at the time State Palace had shut down, Club Emerson was no more, and it was mainly like more of a house music focus and drum and bass and trap and dubstep It wasn't too much of a techno sound in New Orleans.
Like, so it's less electronic. Like, I mean, it's
Not
less,
even less electronic, but just in general, like, in DJ culture and the sound of things, like, New Orleans has always been kind of behind.
Like, what type of subs would you use in the music? Like, more of like 808, like deeper sounding bass, or more
Like
of the lighter?
More like, yeah, the deeper 808 sounds, like...
It's like more punch or more...
Yeah.
Got you.
So, do you have any upcoming gigs besides Fête that's happening?
Yes, I do a monthly at Rabbit Hole. It's techno focus, genre bending. So pretty much anything goes. It's usually the second or third Friday of the month.
All right.
It's called Subject Matter. The next one is on the 13th of October, and
Alright.
it's gonna be a tribute to Outer Limits, which is like inspired from like 1960s like sci-fi kind of like. I don't know if you're familiar with Outer Limits.
No.
I watched it. It started in the 60s and like stopped and then came back in the 90s, and it was very much comparable to like the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So like alien horror, some
Just-
like kind of kooky and
Well, yeah.
different, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
that
like
sounds
a
fun.
sci-fi thriller.
Yeah. So like the focus on that night is gonna be like I'm gonna bring in some aesthetic and make a little bit of decor in the room, make it a little trippy. Also in theme, make it look like, oh wow, this might be like a modern day version of Outer Limits, and the focus is the music speaking for itself, and it's gonna be very spacey and out there, like.
No, it sounds like fun. And this is in New Orleans, right?
Yes.
At the Rabbit Hole. What's the Rabbit Hole? Is that like a DJ venue or?
It's a DIY like performance space. I'd say like all types of performing art happens in that room, and it's great.
Oh, all right. That's dope. You haven't performed yet today, huh? Your set's this afternoon.
My set is this afternoon at 3:45 at El Barrio. I have a surprise guest that's gonna come through, so I'm
Alright.
excited to play some jams with this friend of mine, who's also like a Void resident. We've jammed out before, and it's always a good time, and he's one of the best, you know.
All right.
Do you do mostly like solo work, or you collab with other artists usually?
I collab with other artists. I do a lot of things solo, but also like I like to keep it interesting, just because I've been doing it for a long time, and I think it's important in artistry to be flexible and like explore different realms.
Right. Like, what would be some of the genres you would say are like more of your go-tos when you're DJing? Like, do you have like a bass sound, or do you kind of experiment with all sounds throughout all of your mixes?
It just depends on like timing, setting.
Makes sense. Okay.
Do you use turntables or do you use actual vinyl records
I
when
have
you DJ?
CDJs and a
What?
mixer, which everything is. I have a software called Recordbox, which is basically digital records that I literally can go to any outfitted club in the world that has this specific piece of gear, and just like plug in a USB and my
Yeah.
headphones and just
You'll have all
Have
your
a good
work-
time.
Yeah.
I like your Jordans too, by the way. They're nice.
I like the glasses, like octagon
yeah.
or hexagon. Yeah, it's
I think they're octagon. I don't even.
No, but they're definitely dope. I like the swag. I like everything you got going, and I do like the music in general. Like you say you're gonna play at 3:45 today at El Barrio.
Yes. Since it's daytime, I'm gonna keep it like a little bit funky, something palatable, something you can just like bop around to, you know,
Yeah.
feel good.
How long are your sets usually?
The sets usually at festivals in particular, like, I mean, you'll notice just like working and doing this. I think it's like an hour and 15. But
Yeah.
15 or 50?
an hour and 15.
Oh, okay.
I personally like for a DJ that's been doing it for a minute. I love at least 2 hours because like an hour just barely scratches the surface.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes in, you like just getting your bearings and just like feeling it out. So it's like in the sounds that I do, it's like kind of like a build and a journey.
So, how long have you been actually DJing for? Like, has it been since like childhood or?
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Professionally, probably like 12 years, like beat matching. Like before, it was just like I was a party DJ back home, and like you didn't need to know how to technically like beat match. It's just like playing all the jams.
And you would have to record it a different way and move it.
Well, back then it was just burning CDs, so it was like having records but CDs.
Where can the listeners find you at if they want to look up your music or your art or come to one of your shows?
I have Instagram, that the hashtag @TristyJames. Also, I have a SoundCloud, Tristan Dufrene. It's my real name, my government name. No alias involved in this project.
That's dope.
This is me.
Nice.
I had brought up earlier if you've ever been to Oakdale before Void. What's your favorite thing about Oakdale since you started coming to the Void?
I mean, the Void, the land is just beautiful. You know, the Romero and Murray family are just the sweetest and humble people. Having the best friends with you here. It's like the homie fest, and also the burger it is a plus.
Yeah, Burger Inn's
The
pretty
Burger
good.
Inn reminds me of this diner back home where I'm from called the Double D. Or the,
Does it serve ice cream and shakes and
yeah,
yeah, 'cause-
really good burgers. They have a cheeseburger deluxe. Or the good, like also good fried chicken.
Yeah, they have chicken. They also have po' boys there too. And the grilled chicken wraps. Yeah, Burger Inn's got some.
I usually go for the burger and like a chocolate shake on the way out. That's my like go-to. It's never disappointed me every time.
Nice.
Because I never take care of myself enough at the festival. It's like there's so much to do and see. I'm like, like, you know,
Mainly
kid in a
staying
candy
hydrated.
store.
But we don't want to hold you up too much longer. And do you have any more questions, Cleve?
I did have a question. My last question is there anything that you would like to tell the viewers, like words of wisdom? Like we do a little bit of words of wisdom after the show to kind
Words
of.
of wisdom. All I could say is be present in the moment. Always. Look forward to the better days and, you know, don't sweat the wetty stuff.
But it was nice.
Stay hydrated, my friends. It's fucking hot out there.
Oh, yes,
Indeed.
definitely.
Yes.
And it's dry out here. I'm like, gosh, Oakdale needs some rain. It was so sad driving in to see all the fields just like look
Oh.
like desert.
Yeah, we haven't got much rain around here in a while.
I mean, the whole South is in drought, and we're dealing with drought and
El Nino.
saltwater intrusion.
Yeah, down in New
Which-
Orleans, I seen about
It's
that.
in it's in Belle Chase right now. I'm like, damn, this shit's coming quick.
Yeah, salt water's going in the riverway.
They said on the news, like before I left New Orleans, like, oh, it's not gonna be here till like mid-October, but I think it's gonna be sooner than that. I don't know. Either way, I'm not too worried. I'm prepared the best I can. I'm not gonna be home much this month. I'm sure it's not gonna last long. Also,
Right.
I feel like the government's gonna come in, I think, at some point, and not like New Orleans is already chaotic as it is. They're not gonna let people go full on animal more than what it already is. They're gonna have to bring like pallets and pallets of water.
Yeah, they'll have to, exercise what they have to if they follow the right protocol. I just would hope they handle it the way that it should be.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you never know. Like, I went through pandemic, I went through Ida in New Orleans, and I prepared for the worst. I thought for sure that I was gonna have to like ward off people with like, like survivalist shit.
That's why you need a crossbow. Hey, efficient and easy, a crossbow. Oh, what about, we learned about termites in New Orleans last night. I never knew that was a thing.
Oh, what kind of termites? There's two different kinds.
Oh, there's
the
two?
Oh, there's
Formosa.
types.
Well,
There's
there's like
types?
the Formosa, which like swarms like around Jazz Fest time is when the
That-
Formosas come out.
Okay, that's what we heard about
But
them.
then there's like the real termites that'll go in your house and fuck things up. Just like eat through the wood. And I have like an exterminator come to my house each month, and there's a certain thing they call like when they start making the tunnels, you
Like a
see like the
burrow.
dirt. It's like they call it frass.
Frass.
He's like, you see that right here? That's frass. I'm like, what's that? He's like, it's termites. I'm like, but there's no hole anywhere.
Yeah, somehow they just put it inside they get
Yeah, they
inside
go
the
through to
wood.
like cracks in like wood floors and shit.
Well, dang. There's.
Louisiana's buggy.
Hey, if you in the pest control business, you need to go down to New Orleans and get you some business, because it sounds like you could stay in.
Well, yeah, there's all kind of pests in New Orleans.
It's beautiful out here this afternoon. It's always beautiful to sit down at Void and get to meet, new people and learn new things.
Yeah. We've only been trying to do this for a couple of years now.
Yeah. We hit and miss, but that happens. It is what it is. But everything's meant to be. It's
Yes.
happening now.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show with us. And again, I'm not going to take too much of your time, but yeah, I guess we can close this out, and
Yep,
we'll catch you guys a little bit later today.
And thanks to Iceman Special for having me out here every year. It's been beautiful and lovely to see this place transform into what it is.
Oh yeah, and it was. We all hoping for that constant growth and change. Like, I'm hoping it gets bigger the next year. Like,
Also, like, I kind of like it just staying like it is.
Yeah.
Just because I work in the production industry on a different, like, kind of like on the same scale, but for corporate America.
okay.
And it's way different. When you get like so big, it's
Yeah.
like you lose that essence of personal touch.
I've watched documentaries about what's the one they do out? It's real big, not Lollapalooza, but it's another one.
Coachella?
Maybe. And during it, it's just said it gets so big that you have to have that type of funding from corporations. They just come in and pick their way apart, and it turns into something totally different. Yeah, I can definitely feel that aspect too.
Coachella's it's definitely an experience. It's not for everybody, but you're gonna get to see world-class acts that you may never get to see again in your life, larger-than-life art.
That's
But
dope.
there ain't no place like Oakdale, Louisiana.
I think you might be one of the only people to ever say that. No, that's for.
One of the few.
But we're out.